Alright folks, welcome to another snippet of our adventures through the Storybook Vale. Right now we are in the Ever After in the Teapot Falls. We're about ready to do the fairy tale trial. And in order to do that, you're going to need to advance a few quests with Flynn and Merida. And there's even a quest you're going to need from this book where it's going to teach you how to remove these teapots. If you haven't done that yet, you need to do that first. Once you've done that, then you can remove these teapots and enter the trial. I'm not going to go into all the details that you need in order to do that, but I don't need that selected. We're going to go in here and do this. So get your net ready, and you're going to need to swipe it to start that quest. Enter the fairy tale trial at the Teapot Falls. Now let me get my shovel, just because we are right here. I want to get those things. So the first thing we're going to notice is there's going to be inkies, there's going to be quests, there's going to be symbols on the walls. Now pay attention to those, either write them down or as I have done, you can take screenshots and keep those so you remember when you get to that portion. But here you've got a dragon and a question mark, Now, if you're like me, then you're probably going to want to clean all of this out as you go along. But we're going to try and keep this video to as short as possible, reasonably, without skipping too much. Let's pick that up while we've got it. And just continue on along. Now you see another symbol on the wall there. There's a dragon. And then above that door there is a castle. So that's going to show you the little symbols you're going to need on the floor. A dragon, castle, and dragon. So you're going to need to get your shovel and dig until you get the dragon, and then the castle, and then the dragon. And you know that because you paid attention to the symbols, or because you watched my video. Then you enter here. The next room, you see a clock on that back wall. You see a table here, and there's papers here that give you little hints about you need to place the tea set on the trolley at the end of the table. And before you do that, you need to set the chairs. The pink chair is going to need to go on the end in the place of honor. The elegant blue chair, belongs closest to the guest of honor, and then the sturdy wooden chair ought to go farthest away for someone shy. So, as we go in here, we're going to need to go into the decorative mode, grab the little pink chair, and place it right there on the end. The blue chair is going to be closest to the pink chair on the side, as the directions say. Put it right there. And the wooden chair on the very end is going to go there. And that is that. Okay. Then you're going to want to get rid of those. Pay attention to those symbols as well. That's going to be the flower. This one's going to give you a little bit of clues there. 8 o'clock will be too early. 10 o'clock will be too late. So when you get to the clock, it's going to be 9 o'clock. You're going to put that at 9. And if you're paying attention to all the symbols, you're seeing that down there. We saw that symbol over here. That's number 3, so that's a flower. And because you're watching my video, you want the information as quickly as possible. Number 1 is going to be a flower. Number 2 is the dragon, not the wolf. There's the dragon. Number 3 is a flower. And you'll see that as you go through here. As you go through the... There you go. And you're going to pick up that teapot. As you go around the room, you'll see the symbols. That'll unlock and show you what needs to be going where. So in order to get into this room, we're familiar with this little doohickey. Use your net. Get rid of these inkies. Get in here. And these are fairly simple. The puzzles could be a little challenging if you didn't watch my video, because these symbols on the floor are going to need to match certain symbols on the walls. So as you work your way through the maze, you'll find your chest. You don't want to forget your chest. If you turn the wrong way, you won't get your chest. See those symbols over there? There's a dragon there. And then as you work around the corner here, you're going to get yourself another chest. Free chest. Always get that free loot. Okay. And pick up our gold there. Come back to this side. Remove your inkies. Now I'll just tell you this one here, you're going to have dragon, dragon, castle, castle. So get your shovel out, and then I'll show you how we come to that conclusion. Dragon, dragon, castle, and castle. And that's going to open up the curtain over there to get the chest. And the reason I know this is because over here on the wall, you've got the castle on the bottom over there. You can kind of see it over the hedge. When you get around the corner, you can see it right there. And then you come around to this side, and you see the other one. Same thing. So you got the dragon, dragon, castle, castle. So you've got the Roman numerals from the symbols on the wall. You have the chair puzzle. You have the hedge maze puzzle. And you get your teapots. Well, of course, he's going to want to talk to you, so if you talk to him, we're just going to skip that.
Let's do this again soon, okay?
And go back to the main room where that table is, because we're going to need to put our teapots there. Like I said, trying to keep this as quick and short and sweet. We go here, we go back to and we put those in there. Then we go to the clock. And remember what the sign said about the clock. 9 o'clock was too early. 10 o'clock was too late. And you're just going to interact with it until you get the big hand to the 9. Oh, we didn't want to. Okay. I love my pets. We always want to pet them. Once you get to the 9, that door will open. And once that door opens, then you can go and take care of the very last source of corruption. And that will unlock your path to Maleficent's castle. Now, if you haven't done so yet, you will need to continue the storyline with Flynn and Merida so you can get rid of those mushrooms. But there you go. Thank you for watching.